Hey guys, it's your host Adi and welcome to Comic Space, and today we are finally going to talk about my favorite topic, and I think everybody's favorite topic, and that is the World War Hulk solo film in the MCU. We have been waiting for it while. We have been talking for it while, actually couple of years that we are actually just talking about it, and today's is going to be no different, but today's update is quite major as it also clarifies how Marvel Studios is pursuing World War Hulk storyline in the future of the MCU. So today's update is coming from Cosmic Circus editorial. You can check those guys out. Those guys are awesome. As they went on to reveal a full detail article regarding Marvel Studios' future story arcs and the present story arcs, and we are going to talk about how that is going to work for the World War Hulk storyline and for that setup. As they have went on to write under the banner of world politics and a diplomatic solution of Sokovia Accords. So obviously, as we have seen, that Marvel Studios has been able to make a sort of a political world of their own, and how all of those elements work within the MCU. So the projects such as like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Secret Invasion, and Thunderbolts. So these are the projects which has been Marvel Studios primarily focused to explore the world of world politics and how that elements works in the MCU. So Marvel Studios actually have done a fabulous job diversifying their specifically the multiverse saga. I'm not going to talk about Infinity Saga, but the multiverse saga specifically. Marvel Studios has done a quite fantastic job diversifying their all of their storylines, street level, world politics, and such as. So the projects like that, it is also going to involve the World War Hulk storyline, as they went on to state that as Marvel Studios is building the world politics world, so within that world, the governments are actually looking forward to a kind of an counter-attack regarding the gradually increasing amount of superhumans or meta-humans that have been gradually increasing throughout the years. So governments are obviously making of their own policy to counter-attack. So such as obviously that includes creating their own meta-humans, such as obviously or making their own teams such as Thunderbolts. So obviously you can take that as an example, and obviously making some highly specialized weaponry to counter attack. And recently we also have seen how Department of Damage Control has been able to kind of make their grip over and make some sort of in control regarding the gradually increasing amount of superheroes or meta humans, you want to call it, whatever fancy word that you might want to choose. So they also have went on to talk about how Bruce Banner's blood has been going to work out. So as we know, Bruce has been able to keep his blood to only himself. So obviously given how that can use for in villainish use, I don't think so that's a word, but just I think you guys get it. I don't think so villainish is a word, but okay, that is going to come out into play. And as we know that Harrison Ford has took on the role of Thunderbolt Ross recently, and there have been some serious amount of chattering regarding the Red Hulk coming in the MCU finally, and that is going to be played by the Harrison Ford. And obviously this is not going to be the first time where government is going to do something with Banner's blood, because that's exactly what they did in the literally the second film in the MCU, and that was the Incredible Hulk. So we have already seen that, and I think that's how Marvel Studios might take the route to World War Hulk storyline again. And obviously there have been such a evident and clear setup regarding that storyline, and they have introduced all of the key elements in the film and how that storyline could be leading up. And the major thing here is that after setting all of this stuff, that how Marvel Studios is actually pursuing that World War Hulk storyline, as they are looking forward to as an kind of an Avengers 4.5 film, it is going to be much like a Civil War style film. As the Cosmic Circus editorial have went on to state in their article that Marvel Studios is looking forward to an kind of a Civil War style project to set up the Avengers 5. And I think what they mean by the Civil War style kind of a project, meaning kind of in getting all of the Avengers together before we actually get to see them in Avengers 5 and Secret Wars, because right now everybody is kind of in all over the place. Marvel Studios have set up many storylines within this saga and all of these new characters, and none of them actually know each other. So I think that is going to be in sort of in stuff. So that can be one project where we can actually get to see everybody get together, and then we head into Avengers 5 and stuff like that. And given how much uncertainty there is right now regarding the Avengers lineup, and we also have a total new Guardians team, and I don't think so anybody is expecting any of the members from Thunderbolts coming into a main Avengers team, so they can have a sort of a project where you actually get to see all of this main Avengers kind of in lineup and getting all of them together in a film like that. And since you are going to do probably one of the best Hulk storyline from the comics, and again, given the caliber of that story, you are probably going to need all of the help that you can get. Giving a sort of a spoiler alert here, if you have been familiar with the comic book storyline of World War Hulk, because it took everybody from Avengers, from Fantastic Four, it took everybody, and they weren't able to do, I don't think so, any damage to Hulk at all. Because at the end of the day, it took Sanitary to come out and to finish that story. And again, I think this is where all of the things get interesting, because we are also supposed to be getting introduced to Sanitary very soon. Even how Steven Yeun, who was originally was supposed to play the character, has been dropped out from the film. But Sanitary is still in the MCU. He is going to be introduced and all of this stuff, and I think it is just quite evident how Marvel Studios is going to set up that World War Hulk storyline, because they have all of the major characters and they have all of the major elements. So as it looks like, Marvel Studios is actually kind of looking forward to an sort of an Infinity War and Endgame type of setup for Avengers 5 and Secret Wars, because as we have lots of diversification in the multiverse saga, we have different teams, and again, you have so many new heroes coming up. Obviously, you are not going to expect Daredevil and the Punisher coming up in an Avengers 5 or Avengers Secret Wars. I mean, that is a totally kind of a different topic, but as it looks like Marvel Studios, as we head at the end of the saga, we are probably going to get some things cleared up, because we are also supposed to be getting in Young Avengers feature length film, which is like a major film. If we are talking about it, is nothing like that just gonna leave it on Disney Plus. So Marvel Studios is actually set up some major stuff moving forward. And as it seems like, we are getting only one film this year, but as we move on, 2024 is going to be jam-packed, 2025 is going to be jam-packed, 2026 is going to be something else, and obviously it is going to be fun at 27, that we might head into Secret Wars, which is very unlikely. So as it looks like World War Hulk is coming out, I cannot tell how much long it is going to take it to come out, because there are lots of other stuff is going on, and we have been talking about World War Hulk film for a couple of years, and the film was supposed to be getting into the production in 2022, given how the initial update of World War Hulk from Geeks Worldwide came out. So obviously, given the strikes and how Marvel Studios has gone through a patch of quality over quantity, so they obviously have a lot to figure out, change regime. So obviously all of the stuff have affected Marvel Studios' major situation, if you can add top of that. So Marvel Studios actually have a lot to figure out. So, and obviously they have a lot to set up before we get into stuff like World War Hulk, Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. So I think it is quite time to see you guys off. Well, that's it for this video, guys, but before you go, you can consider to grab that subscribe button so don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel or DC update. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.